My headband on. I've already sanitized my hands, so let's get ready. Everything is best of 2017. My item that I picked for 2017, most used, most sprayed, is the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Water. It has electrolytes inside. I like to kind of fan it off a little bit, which is going to be not only retaining moisture, it's bringing moisture into the skin. But it doesn't have any oils, it doesn't have any silicones, it doesn't have what I would say harmful ingredients that is going to harm the skin. For all the products, I'm adding a drugstore version, and I'm adding a high-end, and then a luxury version, and then I'm going to add what I say old but still using. So meaning, you know, these are products that I still reach for them, and they're in that same category. But I noticed that for 2017, I just happened to be using those items a lot. I was just tracking that from the beginning of the year, so I want to throw that in there for you. So drugstore version, there isn't one that is comparable to Smashbox, but the one that I would say is the old but I still use is Max Charge Water. Now the sprayer on the Max is a stronger, so you're going to get more of that water effect. See if you can kind of see it on my skin. Just let it go in. Not only do these two bottles offer the same benefits for the skin, they both share similar ingredients. So that's why I kind of like to make sure I either have the Smashbox or the MAC water on hand. Nothing for luxury as far as I'm concerned. I wouldn't use luxury for this step because I'm pretty happy with just those two high-end versions. So that's it. My top pick for 2017 is the Maybelline Master Prime. This has, like, let's look at the top of the ingredient list. It's got glycerin. And then it has this, what I like to say, this family, this cocktail of blurring ingredients, silicone ingredients that is going to smooth out the skin and hydrate the skin. That's it. For high-end brand, I'm picking the Makeup Forever Step 1s. Now, I used both these two always together. They were always twins, and that's how I'm going to actually buy them together. So it says Step 1, and so the white bottle is the nourishing one. So I'm getting that hydration for my skin. And then the other Step 1 states Smoothing Primer. So what I did is I put this all on my, like, perimeter of my face, really kind of work it in with my fingers. And then for the gray one, I would just warm it up between two fingers and then go right down the T-zone. And I mean, it kept the foundation in place where it needed to. When it comes to primer, I'm not even looking at a luxury brand because I think I've worked with so many of them that I just feel that here we go. A drugstore one beats out Guerlain, beats out that Gold Mess, Givenchy, beats out all of those primers. Why spend the money? My old but still using a lot of in 2017 is by Laura Geller, her Spackle. This plumps my skin. It hydrates my skin, and whatever I put on top of it, doesn't matter, liquid, cream, stick foundation, it holds it in place and it makes my skin look good. I feel I always will have a good foundation day when I use this primer. Those are my picks, but I'm not using those because of the foundation that I'm wearing. So right now I'm just letting my skin marinate with the primer water and the charged water. And let's move on to correctors. My drugstore top pick is Maybelline Master Camo. Is that what it's called? Yes, but this is actually their color correcting pen. This is the color red. It says 60 number red. This is red, like blood red. Is red. It has the sponge tip applicator that you just twist underneath, and first couple times I went a little bit kind of gung-ho with it, and I'm thinking, oh, okay, this is extremely pigmented. It will cover a dark mark. It will cover what you're trying to cover. And then you can go in, of course, with your complexion products. Now, I'm not going to use this. I can, but I'm not going to use it. I know it's kind of like, blah, blah, blah. Now my high-end pick will be Lancôme. This one, I'm surprised I'm even putting it in the category. The Tint Idole Ultra Wear Camouflage, the corrector. Now this is in the shade Orange Red. This is exactly the reason why it's my top pick. It's because of the color. It's a combination of, well, orange and red, and it's unusual to find a single corrector in whatever format that has red and orange, like both of these together, but in one actual tube or whatever it comes in. And that's why I like this and why I kept reaching for it. It's solely the color of orange red and that merged together that I feel really works well and complements my skin tone and also darker skin tone as well. It is also something to think about if you, let's say, use something that's this intense of a red and you're like, you know what, I can't hang with that red apple. This, definitely check out something like this where you have both shades together. Now this brings me to my old but still used pick, is the LA Girl Orange Corrector. And I've used this so much last year because I am going to toss it. I'm tossing it right after I'm filming this video. Reason being is it's starting to smell something that's like expired Play-Doh, if Play-Doh even expires. I think I'm just done with it. I've used it for so long, and I feel that these other two, at least these two, Master Camo and the Lancôme one, I actually like those better. This is where I will use something that is not a primer. I'm using it more for something to help that foundation adhere better to my skin, change kind of the feel of the foundation, make it just look good. I don't have a drugstore pick for the foundation moisture combo, but I do have my high end. And I don't know, you may already know what it is because it's something, it's usually listed in my makeup worn section in the info box. It's by Belief, and I've got a ton, well not a ton, I've got like 4 of these deluxe samples of the Belief, the True Cream Aqua Bomb. It's about that amount right there. And then press and pat it into the skin. I don't have a luxury version as far as the pick for 2017. I do have in my drawer like good stuff in here. Some brands, I guess I would say, are luxury, but they're not what I would pick. Like for sure, I would not pick those over Belief. They just happen to be here and I'm using them up. Now, old but still using, it's got to be this MAC Mineralize All Over Lotion. I'm getting so excited thinking about this. I am in America, in the United States, and the Mineralize All Over Lotion is now, like if I wanted to get this, it's only sold now at MAC Middle East. Moving forward here in America, this, if I want to get this similar formula, I have to use the charged water version, which actually I'll do. After I use this, I'll try the charged and see which one I like better. But this, I have been using this since high school. No matter what skin allergies, if you have it, this just goes, it's like a universal product. And it works very much in the same manner as the Belief. It just will make that foundation just look great. It will just prep the skin and give it the hydration it needs, even if you have oily skin. It just kind of like goes, I think I know what skin type you have. Let me adjust to that. I just want to sanitize my foundation plate. Questions about that. This plate, it's Target. I get this at Target. It's in the candle section. So it's one of those candle plates. You know what's funny? Someone told me this, that this is the same plate that Katie from Luster Lux. Is that, I don't know if she goes by Luster Lux or Katie now. Anyways, that's the same thing. I was like, oh. And Katie, me and Katie think alike. NYX's Total Drop Foundation. I am in the shade Deep Sable. I have the control, well, just like the title, I have the control of the level of coverage I want. Even if I start to want to build up, let's say it's still not covering it. If I want to do it a third time, it will cover it by the third time. So you can adjust your level of coverage, whether you need it all over or just in concentrated areas. It covers, but it still keeps it skin-like I have nothing on, and it just disappears into my skin. Now the foundation that's high-end, this goes with the belief, always wear this cocktail together, always. My top pick is Fenty Beauty. I'm in the shade 390, so now I get to finally put the foundation on. First I dip my finger in, and I just start it right in the middle of my face, and then I bring it out towards the outer edges here and just work it into the skin. One of the big reasons why this foundation is my top pick for the year, I was really thinking about that, and I noticed that why I kept reaching for this foundation is just how fast I can get it on in the areas that I need it, and then it sets and I don't have to do anything else. I don't have to put any powder on if I don't want to. I don't put powder on with this. I don't powder my entire face with it. I can use the blot powder with it, and to me that's all the powdering I need, and it looks the same from AM until PM. On top of the fact is that it's a good foundation, it's my skin tone, it complements my skin well, and it builds up great too on the skin. Oh, battery's flashing. It wouldn't be a video unless the battery was flashing. Okay, let me change the battery and come back, and I'll tell you my old pick that I'm still using from last year. Backtrack real quick with the primer water. If you use this for your eyeshadows, this turns your eyeshadows waterproof. I just wanted to say that real quick too. Category for old but new is Fit Me. I have been pulling this out nonstop in 2017. Now this is the Matte and Poreless. Shade 340 is my exact shade. No matter what I use it with, it's a beautiful finish on the skin. I love it, and I keep reaching for this. Great drugstore pick, great price. They need to make 340 in all the formulas. When you come out with a formula, for some reason they just skip over 340. They keep skipping over cappuccino. It's like, what's going on here? I was about ready to cuss, but anyways, cappuccino. Okay, moving on to stick foundation. Now, if you've watched this channel for quite some time, you might probably know the two stick foundations that I'm turning over my notes. You might already know the answer to this. ABH, or Anastasia Beverly Hills in the stick Cool Golden. This is the exact color of my skin. Exact. It's not marketed as a stick foundation in which it's supposed to, like, almost in a sense give you full coverage, but I can use this, dab it on, excuse me, I just dropped it, with a small brush and build up, and it will cover a dark mark. It will cover it. I was just surprised, and I like that when I see something that's not marketed for this and then it turns out to just offer even more benefits to its initial claims. So that's why the ABH is my top pick. No drugstore pick. There's not a drugstore stick foundation that even matched my skin. It was Maybelline, but of course they got rid of 340. So I don't have a drugstore pick. But I also don't have a luxury pick either. Like, you know, high end, very, very high end. But my other pick, old but new, I will old but still using, and I will always use it. I mean, you'll have to pry this out of my hand. It's Bobbi Brown's stick foundation, and I am in the shade, they changed the numbers, so this is now Warm Almond 13. I used to be 6.25, but now I guess the sticks just have a number to it. What I like to do with this as well is, let's say I am using a liquid foundation. I can go in with the stick foundation. I can use my finger. I'm just gonna do it with a brush real quick. Dab it on, kind of warm it up here on the brush. And then I can also go in and cover, get a little bit of further coverage on my skin. And I've done this with the stick foundation with the Fenty, and I think it kind of complements it well as far as the skin. Now this area right here, it might be too much information, but I am just finishing up on my period, so I had some hormonal breakout. The skin is still healing, and I don't want to put too much stuff on it. That's why actually I'm just going to skip the corrector. I don't care if it's peeking through. So I just want, you know, the less on top of it, the better, but it will cover a dark mark when you just kind of go in and do a little bit of spot concealing. And what's also so good about this foundation is, like I said, I ain't gotta set it. So I can just talk away and I don't have to set it. So I'm reaching in my little basket here to pull out the next category, which is, I wrote down powder foundation. Now this is actually a product I don't really, it's not always on my, you know, radar. I'm not always looking at it. I pretty much stay with the same item. So my pick for powder foundation is something I actually finished up last year, and it was my Lancôme dual finish, and I wore that. I mean, I've been wearing that for another item since high school. Just, I've always worn it, and it's a great color on me, but I finished it and I was like, you know, maybe I should try something else by now. So what I had picked up on sale is the Naked Skin Ultra Definition Powder Foundation from Urban Decay. My shade is shade Dark Warm, and I'm just using it. I don't use it too often, but I also had picked up very recently, I think this was around maybe the holidays, December, is Marc Jacobs powder foundation, and his is in the shade, I'm in Fawn Cocoa number 500. That's the shade for me, and it's a great match. So I'm just going to use these, be done with it. My drugstore pick is Wet n Wild Photo Focus. It doesn't crease on me. It doesn't dry, like make my under eyes look dry. I like the wand because I tap it. I stipple it on underneath my eyes. I go just in the inner corner where it tends to have the most darkness. I always put it underneath my nose because Bobbi Brown taught me that and said it takes years off your face. So when Bobbi Brown gives you a trick, you do it, right? And you do it for the rest of your life. For high end, I am going with the shade that I actually got in 2017, but these were still my favorite concealers back in 2016, and they're from Urban Decay. It's the Naked Skin. I finally have Dark Golden. So this is one of their new shades. Like, they've added some additional shades to their lineup, but Dark Golden is the exact color of my skin. So it has the wand I like, has that ballet wand that's pretty flexible. Same wand as the Hi-Fi lip glosses, so I can stipple it on, blend it out. Same as I mentioned in the best of 2016 video, why this is my top pick is still the sole reason of the fact that you can layer these concealers. And what I mean by layering is I like to think of it as like you're going to cover a tattoo. So if you're trying to cover something, let's say major imperfection, or even something like a minor spot, you can put on Urban Decay's Dark Golden. You can put on a Naked Skin, and then you can put a thin layer of powder. Then you can put another layer of this. So basically, conceal, set a little bit, conceal, set a little bit. You can keep layering it. And even though this is a pretty liquid version, like the texture is, it's quite liquidy, it's not taken up with the powder. It's not, it just layers well. It's very rare to come across a concealer that will do that. That is a product and from a brand that you can just pick up, like mass market by consumers. That's very rare. Usually those types of concealers are, you know, made for professional use for that particular profession. My old but still use, and I'm getting so much use out of this still. I mean, I'm getting it down there. It's my 2016 pick too. It's the Maybelline Better Skin concealer. This is just, it's like with the Wet n Wild. It offers enough coverage that I like, and it doesn't settle, it doesn't cake, it doesn't crease on me. I don't have one for drugstore as far as using up throughout last year that I really enjoyed, but my pick for high-end is the Too Faced Born This Way Ethereal Setting Powder. It makes the under eyes look super smooth, like glass. I don't know how they did it. Just take my brush it off. I just noticed it wasn't recording, so I don't know what part didn't record. I guess I'll find out in editing. Old but still using, getting lots of use out of, and I'm so happy, is the Coty Airspun Loose Powder. My shade is Naturally Neutral. This is the shade, if you are my skin tone, if you are deeper, this is the shade that you want to be using because it truly is colorless. Anybody can use this, but I think I wanted to mention for people of color with some color to their complexion, because you might look at this and be like, okay, is it too light? Is it white? And then the other colors actually will leave a color on your skin, actually will mix in, and those aren't, no, only get Naturally Neutral. This is, I feel, truly colorless, and it will set the makeup well. I'm just so happy to have this back. I use it for the concealer, I use it all over. Great pick. So this is definitely it. And I forgot to mention my other high-end pick. I apologize. I have two for this category. This I received from the box that you get to do reviews, Influencer, the Laura Mercier, and this is in the shade Translucent Medium Deep. I use it with those foundations of mine that are slightly off, and what the powder does is not only set it, it adjusts the shade, and then boom, it just goes right into my skin. My 2017 top pick is Wet n Wild again, the pressed powder. This is actually the Photo Focus pressed powder. I am in the shade Cocoa, so same as the concealer. I also have it in the shade Golden Tan, so if you are close in my skin tone, you want one to set underneath your eyes, just add a little bit of brightness. This is not going to be a strong effect. It's very subtle. Then you would want to look at Golden Tan, give that one a try. But Cocoa is the one I tend to use all over my face to set. I can wear it with foundation, without. It's just a great powder. It doesn't go into any lines, smile lines. It just sets really well. I did not have one for a high end, and I did not have anything for luxury. My old but still using is definitely, if I look at my little stash right here, the one I reach for the most is the FENTY. Now I don't know if this is redesigned or there's another redesign, but this is the one I still have, and I use the 340 Cappuccino, so it's my exact foundation shade, so that's the one I use. And I tend to use this when I am doing like my inserts a lot of the times when I'm doing those shots, and when I'm trying to show you guys swatches. I gotta get to the eyebrows soon, but I got sidetracked. When I'm showing the swatches, and I might put some foundation on and then I quickly set it and then I do a swatch. Let me tell you something, when it comes to us with filming, when we want to get it precise for you, at least me, we go through a lot. Some foundation and powder, and then put the swatch and then take it off, and foundation and powder and then put the swatch and take it off. So I use this, and this has been keeping it looking real good, as if it's the first application, and then boom, I can put whatever the product is. So drugstore, nothing that I chose or was using that was like, oh, this is the top pick. I have two for high end, and I don't have anything for luxury, so I'm already going to say that right now. As far as a high end brand, and that is the Contour Cream Kits from ABH. Anastasia Beverly Hills, but I'm going to keep saying ABH just to shorten it. Now I have medium and deep, so I use both of them. Deep is my most used. As you can see, I'm making some dents. I hope this isn't something that the brand is no longer going to make. I hope they continuously have these in their lineup. You can take them out of the kits, so if I travel, I can just take them out and put it in a palette, magnetic palette, and boom, it's with me. So I use all of the deep shades. They have a deep, like a different undertone depending on which one it is. One is warmer, one is neutral, and this one is my skin tone, exact skin tone. ABH has it right when it comes to my skin tone. It just, boom, goes right with my skin. This is one that you can use as your highlight. I can use it also as an eyelid primer, and then this would be my corrector shade. So good. And I love cream. I love cream. I love powder. I know some people don't like cream. They think it's too hard. Listen, cream goes wherever you want it to go. With powder, it can go and then goes, oh, I'm just going to sit here for a while and let you think you're going to blend me out. Cream will just go wherever you tell it to go. And it's very skin-like and it looks natural. Now, my second one in the same category is the contour stick that I'm going to use because, again, I don't have to set it. Now, with the ABH, I do set the ABH. I just set it with my regular powder or with my Ben Nye loose powder. But my FENTY stick, this, I'm going to keep buying it until they keep making it. You can do it with your fingers, you know, kind of warm up the product. You can do it with your brush and then apply it. I just go right on the side of the stick and I apply it out. Now I went actually a little bit too far in, but that's okay, I'll fix it. And I just put my little lines here. I tend to leave that there and then I work in this side first, and I'm using my NARS Eda brush. So see how it's moving the product? A lot of times when someone will say, see, fix it. Someone will say, I can't get this to move. I can't get it to work with. I am going to ask them, what brush are you using? Shade I use is Espresso, in case I didn't say it. So I'm just going to do the other side. I always just go down here, you know, just swipe it on. I'm going to blend it out so it doesn't have to be so precise. And I actually am getting used now to the magnet. I was hating on those magnets when it first came because every time I turned around, the damn magnet was like connecting to everything. But what's fun is the magnet will even stick onto my mirror, so I don't even have to worry about it falling. So now I'm kind of getting used to the little magnet. So with the jawline, what I do is I use the middle portion of it and I focus these two ends to blend the cream out and kind of disperse it where it needs to be. So, I mean, you can go like this, but if you go in the middle and blend it out, it will actually go and shape out your jawline for you. So you're getting a little bit of tips here in the Get Ready With Me. It is darker, like a warmer color for my skin tone, but that's fine. Just blend it out. This cream is so easy to work with. I feel it is, and it's definitely a top pick. Now, as I'm blending this out, and I still use the Eda brush for my nose, again, I'm just focusing it on the side. I'll go ahead and talk about my old but new product as far as still using a lot of, and that's my ColourPop sticks. Now, ColourPop discontinued it, and I am salty about that because they're great sticks. They're same style as the lippy sticks. Let me finish this up before I don't know what the heck I'm gonna do. It's hard to talk and film at the same time. Okay, boom, done. They're gone. I don't know why they did. Maybe it's probably because it's cream and not a lot of people, you know, cream just, people are like, I'm so scared of cream, but it's your best friend. I'm gonna tell you, you're gonna look better with cream than you do with powder. You can pile on a ton of powder, I'm gonna tell you, you're gonna look a good 100 years old. You can apply a ton of cream, you will still look fresh and new. My drugstore pick is at a drugstore price, even though you can't get it at the drugstore, and it's ColourPop's Bits and Pieces. This is that warm red-based bronzer that I just soak up. I wear it so much. I focus the bronzer just right here up on my cheekbones because I mentioned that also in my bronzer video, how I use it all the time underneath my blush, because if you have darker skin, we don't flush the way that like pale skin or fair skin does. We need bronzer to kind of mimic that, oh, I'm blushing type of a look. So that's why I always apply it underneath my blush. Such a good bronzer, great price. There's tons of colors for multiple skin tones, so you should be able to find you know, your bronzer shade, but that's my top pick, and I will continuously use that and continuously buy it. They did a great job on that formula. Now for high end, it is going to be another red base bronzer. This is the Becca in Maui Nights, and this is the Sunlit bronzer. The difference I would say between this bronzer that is still red base, I would say, against all my other red base bronzers, including the ColourPop, is this has a slight sheen to it. So just slight. It's not something where I would say, oh, it's a highlighted effect, but there is a sheen to it. It's not shimmery, it's not so out there, but it is a beautiful color. I don't have a luxury version. I just use my same version that I still use, my Guerlain bronzer. That would be, I would say, if you're looking for a luxury bronzer, I would go with Guerlain because they started out with bronzers, they know what they're doing, and that would be my pick. This is from CoverGirl. It's their True Blend blush. I almost thought it said a second word underneath. Now I only have one shade. I chose the darkest. This is in Deep Mauve. It looks, now it's something that is that, it's that baked dome effect, and it has like that pink in it, like lilac and pink in there, and then you've got that deep plum. Now I was wondering, when I wear this, is it going to be, you know, like 3 shades? Pretty much what is it going to do? And so I was staring at it more and more, and I'm thinking, I'm going to give it a shot. I am so happy I did. So you swirl this and it's just deep plum. Pleasant surprise, a happy surprise, and I definitely love that blush. My second drugstore option is ColourPop again. When it comes to blushes, I love their Super Shock formula. I like the original, and I don't like the powder as much as I do this formula. The powder doesn't last as long. This is a new color that I chose. This has Never Been Kissed. So just as much as I was using Cheerio, I was like, put Cheerio down for a bit and use this. This color, Never Been Kissed, knowing ColourPop, they're probably gonna discontinue it, probably. Never Been Kissed, I will need to buy a million of these. This is that cherub Renaissance painting. Oh, I love that flush of cheeks. Makes me feel like, you know, you're going down some ski slope and, oh, it's so cold, just smack my cheeks, and then you see the red. This is that color. Red pink. For high end, it was so easy to pull this out. I knew exactly what it was. It was Fiona Styles, let's see, Soft Cheek Veil in the shade Imperial. Now Imperial is that deep like nude color. Let me tell you, it took me so long to try this color. I could just kick myself because now you can't get it anymore. When I went back to go get some more, because I was like, oh, this color is so awesome, I need to go buy them up, because I think it was like $3, $5 on clearance. The line left Ulta, all gone. I will still buy it at full price after I find out if she has a pro discount, of course. But that, I love that shade, great shade. Just a little bit below, so just kind of in those hollows, and just kind of deepen it up with the blush. And then I go above on my temples here, and then on the sides. And I just do my little drape. I'm telling you, you want to look nice and toasted, just like that little burnt toast look I love. I'm gonna have to trademark that. Burnt toast, Stephanie's burnt toast. Look, my old and still using a lot from last year is from Too Faced. It's their Love Flush blushes. Now I have 3 of these, so it was in some Christmas set. I reach for this so much. This color is my favorite. It's the one that shows up and looks so healthy on my cheeks, and it's the color Your Love is King. What I'm mad at is no matter where I go, Sephora or Ulta, you look in the Too Faced blush section and there's only 3 colors, and this color is not there, and I don't know what is going on, but they need to bring this back or they need to go take it to the discount stores. That's what they need to do. These need to go in the discount stores so I can get it for a discount. Now for highlighters, which I probably split it up into way too many categories. What sold me and what got me so excited about liquid, again, it was just coming back out of me, is this one from Josie Maran, the Argan Enlightenment Illuminizer. I'm thinking, oh, it's probably going to be watery. It's probably not going to really show up on my skin. It's not, you know, it was stupid of me to think that. Oh no. Josie's like, you gonna talk mess on me? I'm gonna show you. Look at that. Now, obviously that's a lot. You just threw me in a tub of liquid gold. I mean, it's just so incredibly blinding. And if you start out with just a small amount, it can build up to something that is quite extreme. Josie Maran is, if not more intense than Becca. Enough said. That will always be in my collection. And no prejudgment. I did not have a drugstore like drop version that I liked last year. 2018 will be another issue. For loose highlighter, my top pick is from Danessa Myricks. It's her In Light powder. Now this shade I picked up is called Heaven Sent. Now this is a rose gold shade. This is not only for your cheeks, you can put it as on your eyes as eyeshadow. A lot of times, like in the videos, when I write down the makeup worn, I have it in the tear duct. Or of course, I wear it on the cheeks, but you can also like mix it in with lipstick. You can mix it in with some lotion and use it as a body shimmer. I mean, you can use that in multiple ways. You can do that with all of your loose highlighters. For the cream category, I did not have anything, I would say, brand new for 2017 that I was using. It's pretty much using a lot of the same creams that I already have, but the one that I reached for, I would say the most, is from ColourPop. It's the K-Pop, the Glow Up. So anything from the K-Pop collection, I was here for it. I got the entire collection. Now for the powder highlighters. So from the drugstore, my top pick is going to be the Maybelline Master Chrome highlighter. So that's mine, which I have been digging into. This is the original color Molten Gold. There's a highlighter that you can build up to, but what's great is it's just right there. So right when I just know I want something intense, it's there. I can blend it out if I want it even, go up a notch, then apply a second layer. But to me, a first layer is fine. Blend that out, and I feel you have a beautiful highlight. I do have 2 high-end brand picks. So the first one is going to be the highlighter that I was so excited to pick up, and it's the Trophy Wife from Fenty Beauty. I am so drawn to yellow, a strong taxi cab, Tweety Bird is what I like to call it, yellow. I'm so drawn to this color. It makes me feel very happy, and I always smile when I see this color, so I love it. I think it's beautiful. It's a color that very much complements my skin tone. I know what type of tool to use with it. It's something that I can use for eyeshadow, which I was using in my videos. I was using it as my tear duct color. I would use it as the regular highlighter. I could use a lip brush, and you can blend it in with your lipstick, lip gloss. Another one that's very versatile. It's a shade in which, I say this, I'm living now. I don't care. This, I'm not holding out for evening for this. I'm not holding it for a wedding. I'm not holding it for a special occasion. I'm wearing it whenever the heck I want to wear it. And that's how I've been loving it. I love this shade, Trophy Wife. It's beautiful. But also what gets me, and I love the formula of Anastasia Beverly Hills ABH's Glow Kits. Now, Sun Dipped was my prior year, the 2016, and I still use that. I'm going to still use it until every last drop of powder. But I have 3 that I had picked up last year, and I equally use them. So I'm pulling them all out to show you. They have, again, different like finishes on them, because you have the Nicole Guerrero, I believe, I'm going to butcher her last name. You have this one where it's more of that metallic finish, which is, you know, more, you run the risk of it being glittery. I'm just going to say it like that. That seems to be the top statement back from people. Metallic equals glittery. It just depends how you put it on. And you have to like glitter, which I do. And then I have the Aurora one, which I picked up during the sale. I swatched it throughout the year, and I picked it up when it was on sale. So I have that one, all different types of colors. And that's the same thing with the Moonchild one. I have all of these fun colors, the purples, the ice blues, the silvers, the greens. Use it as eyeshadow, use it as tear duct, use it on the cheeks. And I say don't be afraid. I mean, these complement my skin tone. I mean, I can just wear it the way I want to, and they look great. I wanted to put in a category for subtle highlighters. Now, it's not very often I might come across a subtle highlighter, but when I do and I enjoy it and I can actually make it from subtle to a level that I like, I want to make sure that I at least can tell you about that. So my top pick for 2017 are the Kylie highlighters, Banana Split and Chocolate Cherry. That is exactly how I wear them. And that just happened to be like that. I was reaching for these every Saturday, early morning baseball practices throughout the season, and then whatever other sport I had to get up early in the morning for my son. At the practice, I put on the darker one first, Chocolate Cherry, and then I put Banana Split on top. I mean, the compliments I was getting from the moms, what's on your cheeks? What's on your cheeks? What blush is that? What's that? I was like, okay, I'm gonna wear both of these shades together. Both of them together give me that very, I don't even know how to describe it. That beautiful, like maple, I think of kind of like maple syrup pouring, but like good maple syrup, like, you know, from Canada or something. First application, you're kind of just like, it's subtle, right? But it's not glittery. It's not all over the face. It's very much quick, on, and go about your life. And I blend it out. I really am getting good use out of that. And I like it. Okay, I'm touching 2 products at once instead of 1, which is helpful for me because I want to go through my products. I didn't put on a highlighter because I'm going to wait until after I do my eyes and my lips. I tend to do that in real life so I can see which type of highlighter, you know, I want to play around with. So we'll wait on that. So let's move on to eye makeup now. So we'll start doing the eyes. So first will be eye primer. Now from the drugstore, I don't have one. I use what works for me, and it's really for my own needs because I have oily eyelids, so stuff will break through it if I don't prep it, I feel, the correct way. Top pick is just really what I always use year after year, and that is the Urban Decay Primer Potion. This is the original one, and this is the one that just works the best for me. And then what I do is, just to make sure, as a precaution, I still set this primer. What would be my old but still using a lot of in 2017. And I don't hear anybody talk about it, and I think it is a fabulous, fabulous eye base. Can't get enough of it. Well, I try to find my brush. I have one brush that I always use to set my primer, and that item is from Sigma, and it's their eyeshadow base in the shade Persuade. First, let me put the powder on real quick. I just take whatever loose powder just happens to be here, and I quickly set the Urban Decay. The Sigma bases look like the MAC paint pots. I think there's a paint pot that's even this shade. I'm probably one of the very small percentage of people who hate them. I do not like to use them at all. They are much too creamy for me, no matter how much I set it. It's just, no, it's a mess. I just don't like them. I love these. Give me a Sigma eye base and I will go to town with it. I mean, that is just dug out. And the more you go into it, the creamier it gets. But it's creamy, but once it touches the skin, it starts to dry. And even when you set it with the powder, it is done. It's not going to budge. It cancels anything you might have. Let's say you have veins on your eyelids. This is absolutely fantastic. Like I said, it does not get enough talk about, and I think it's great. And Persuade is actually, I think, a shade that's always on sale. When I'm on the Sigma website, I always see it on sale. For 2017, my favorite eyeshadow singles comes from an indie brand, and they were called Feather River Body, but the name has changed to Sydney Grace. First off, her shadows are very easy to blend. You cannot mess it up. You can't mess it up. I feel you can't mess it up. And they're buildable, which is another thing I like. You can build them in together with different shades. I'm looking here in my Cool Tone palette because the one I reach for, like I have to have these two. Like these two are always together. And this one is called Teddy and this one is called Track. So let's say you might have lighter skin tones, you might have a darker skin tones. These are great starting off shades to start building up in your cool tone family. You know, even though it's brown base or taupe, the underline of it is it's a cool tone version. The colors just blend and mesh together. Another favorite here, I'm picking it up here, is Lost. I already knew exactly what it was, Lost, and I think of the TV show too. Sydney Grace is cruelty-free, female-owned, operated, founded, and a indie brand. So, you know, it feels good to support that as well. The shadows are also inexpensive. So I would rather actually purchase these shadows. I think they're like, some are $3, you know, if you get them on sale, some are $5, and then a little bit more depending on the finishes you get. Shadows rival and are right up there with the Makeup Geeks, with the MACs, with the ABH. Very much easy to blend. That's something that I just noticed right off the bat. They blend well. You can build them up. There's not a lot of fallout, if not hardly any. And you can make a beautiful cohesive eye look. So I think that the company is great. I think the owner is nice. You know, she seems to be behaving. She's not out running a muckus. She cares about her customers. You ask her for a swatch, you ask her for this and that, and she's just eager to help, and I like that. My drugstore pick is the drugstore price, but you can't get it at the drugstore. And that top pick is the Morphe Jaclyn Hill palette. I didn't do a dedicated video on this, so I'm actually going to just give you my thoughts on this now. Actually, let's go back, since I'm going to do a quick review. The packaging. This is, in my mind, coming from an artist perspective. I could care less about the packaging. I don't care because it's always kind of sitting up here, and this is what I'm interested in. I'm interested in the colors. But from a consumer perspective, I can understand where you would be like, nope, this is going to be dirty. This is going to be dirty, and I don't want to see all that, and I don't want to keep wiping it off. So I can understand why that might be annoying to people. Another gripe I have is this. I have a gripe with every palette that comes with some sort of an insert, some type of a plastic, some type of an unnecessary object that costs you money that is automatically going to be tossed. Automatically we toss it. Automatically we don't have any part of it. It's rare that the actual customer will keep unnecessary stuff. So why you make these stuff like this, it's annoying as hell, and they need to stop. If you want to put see, it's annoying me now. I can feel it in my voice. If you want to put the plastic cover, like let's say there was a mirror and you want to put a plastic cover on the mirror, that's fine, because you know you can tear it off. But that plastic, that is waste of money. Put the money into something that the customer that we would want to see. So all these names on this card here should have been printed on every pan. There is enough space and the font could be small enough so that the shade names are on here. It is 2018, 2017, 2016. It's what we expect. If you're going to put out a palette, you need to put the names underneath the pan. It has nothing to do with YouTube. People want to know that when they touch this shade, what color is it? And they don't want to close the lid and look on the back. So when I see that immediately, this is probably even going to apply to KKW with the Mario thing. When you put the names on the back here, automatically I start knocking down points. I don't want to be going like this. I don't want any of that. So it's just something to think about when you think about price. I feel I have everything I need in this palette to do a look. And not just any look. I can do a ton of looks. I mean, you can do so many possibilities all over the place. That is the sole reason why I chose it. Because I also kind of think about it like that. Can I sit down and do everything I want to do, especially with me building up in shades, and I like to dip in practically everything. If I was gone away from the house and I took just this palette, do I have everything to please me? And I feel that I did. And the price matched up to, you know, the level of the quality of the shadows. One of these shades I feel should have been matte. For us that do not like that strong contrast of a light bright underneath here, I tend to just use a matte bone shade or close to my skin tone shade for that reason. So with that in mind, I feel that's the only thing missing from this palette, is one of those needed to be matte and just a little bit darker. My favorite shade out of this palette is the shade that is always going to be my favorite eyeshadow shade. And it's the one that I think so many people hate. I hate to use that word hate, but they dislike the name. And it's Pukey right here. That is my favorite shade. My eye zeroed in on that color immediately. Reason being is it reminds me of like Mac Interrupted. It reminds me of, well, I think she named it because it's like, she thought it was like baby poop, or when you throw up. It's that color of yellow and brown and a little bit of green mixed in. When you have a shade like this, even if it has more green in it, it looks so good on my eye. And it's the perfect transition shade to start off with if you've got darker skin or you have beautiful tan, like maple color skin. Warm and cool, equally mattes and shimmers, and I like it. I really do, and it's something that I got a lot of use out of. Moving on to high end, and I have several. I'm going to start off with the smallest little one here. This is the one that I picked up last year, and I get a lot of use out of. This is my second stack from Melt Cosmetics. Melt shadows are unbelievable. I do like how it's all magnetized. This is another thing I can kind of put it on my mirror here, all the shades, and then start dipping into. And then you have one that is the actual mirror. I chose, I believe this is the Radioactive. Yes, the Radioactive stack. So it has all of my fun colors. You've got this vibrant pink. Today's trash pickup, I apologize, the truck is here. And this is the lime green. Just fun colors. And then you have that bright coral color here, but it's actually a little bit deeper. And then you have the Tweetbird yellow. So I picked up this one because it's fun. It's colorful. It will complement the other shadow singles I have. Two recognizable palettes that very happy that I have. One is a warm tone palette, and it was given to me from Urban Decay Naked Heat. These are my tones. These are building up in tones, and this is how the palettes I like with Urban Decay, how they just start from the light to the dark. Makes it very easy. You will get different looks if you start using the shades that are a lot more, they complement each other versus thinking that it's, every look's going to be the same. My next top pick palette is Subculture. The little palette that just got everybody all up in a tizzy. These are my shades too. Tend to mix Subculture a lot with other different palettes, some even warm tone palettes, and I love to mix it with its own family, I just like to call it. So with other ABH ones like Modern Renaissance, and then now the Prism one. I picked that one up in November. So it works well with a lot of different palettes. So I do enjoy that one. Now the palette that I was reaching for, it's an old palette. This is an old palette, but it still works fine. The powder works fine, blends well, but I kept reaching for it a lot in 2017. And I can kick myself for not buying the shimmer version of it. And it's from Stila. This is In the Know. This is all matte. So you know how we have all these palettes now coming out that are all matte? This palette was I don't want to say it's the original, but it is, I could not stop picking this up. It has all the neutrals, it has the brow bone shades, it has my lid shades, then it has the blacks, it has the, the orange shade, it's got the mid-tone brown, it has a deep brown, it has the cool tone shades, it just has everything I need. I didn't include a full tutorial because I know already this video is going to be quite long. The palette that I chose for the video is the Urban Decay Naked Heat, and I cheated and I added in some of the colors from the Petite Heat. My drugstore pick is an eyeliner that when I think of a colorful eye look, I immediately think, oh, I know I'm gonna pull that eyeliner pencil in. And it's from NYX. It's the Faux Black line. And this is in the shade Onyx. It says Inner Eye Liner. This color is quite unusual. This specific color screams Subculture palette. Like, I have to always seem to wear it with that palette. So if you actually like the Subculture palette too, that would be a great eyeliner to pair it with. Now for high end, the #1 pencil are 2 of them, and it's from Fiona Styles again. This is pretty much just looking at her line as she was getting ready to leave Ulta. I feel I should have been swatching these earlier, and then I would have known when these went on clearance to buy them all up, because this shade I think is, I know this shade every person of color especially needs. It's the Ultra Smooth Waterproof Eye Defining Pencil in Mulholland, like Mulholland Drive up in LA. That scares me to death because, go up high in those mountains. This color, why it impresses me so much is I feel that this shade Mulholland is perfect for the waterline inner rim for us with darker skin that needs that brightening effect, because there's pencils out there from other various brands, both drugstore and high-end, but they're that like light peach color, or they're very white, like just they're more geared towards fair skin. So when somebody with some color puts it on, you can really see it on our eyes, but it can look a little bit, dramatic. Whereas when I put this shade on, and this is actually the pencil I'm going to use for this eye look, it opens our eyes, it makes it brighter, but it blends in well with our natural skin tone. Nothing as far as a luxury eyeliner pick that's in like a pencil format. I'm just using up what I have. As far as old but still using a lot of last year, it's using up whatever I have current. There is one eyeliner I wanted to talk about, and it's because I don't know if there is a particular ingredient in this eyeliner from Too Faced. It's the Perfect Eyes waterproof eyeliner, and the only one I have is in Perfect Black. I don't want you to do kind of what I did with this whole decluttering. I had the full size of the Too Faced eyeliner. First time I tried it out last year, I remember it felt like I had watery eyes and it felt a little bit itchy, but it wasn't anything intense. But it was the second time when I tried it out in January. Again, I didn't declutter it then. And I said, let me go ahead and try it again. And then I only did it on one eye. That was smart. I did it on my left eye. I didn't touch my right eye at all that day. And then sure enough, I got the eye infection. After that, I don't even care if it's not separated by years, like how I do the storage right now. I'm not even gonna bother. It's all going in the trash. Now for liquid eyeliner, I have two pencils. My top pick for the 2017 is Maybelline's Curvitude. It's one I did a video on. And why I liked that liquid eyeliner pencil is because it's bent. So it's bent at the curve and it has an extremely small tip. And I am the type of liquid eyeliner person, user, where I want it so close to my lash line, it's like touching my lashes. I just want that little gap covered. So Curvitude allowed that. It allowed me to get so close to my lash line and really draw it out. And then you can draw an easy wing and go right back in. For a high-end brand, it goes to Ciate London. And this is their Fierce Flicks eyeliner pencil. And this is just in their black shade. So it's got the little stars on it. Another pencil that has the very thin, very small tip. It's not bent, but it doesn't have to be. And it gets really up close to the lash line. The ink is jet black, that tar black that I love, and it dries matte. My one that I use as far as the old but still using a lot of is the one I tend to also think in my mind, like, yes, that's such a good pencil and it works well for me. And I think it works a lot with people too because it's very popular. It's the Kat Von D. Now mine is the Saint Liner in Trooper. I remember this came in a set, so I can't recall the other styles. I think one might be like a thicker pen, but Trooper, if Trooper is the only one that has that very thin tip to it, that or style of the tip, that's what I want. I want it, again, very close to my lash line. It's another very strong cap, by the way. It's another one I can store any which way I want, and the ink just flows, and these do not seem to dry out quick. For this eye look, I'm not going to do an eyeliner, but I at least gave you my top picks. My drugstore pick for an eyebrow pencil is Revlon Color Stays Brow Pencil. I am in the shade Dark Brown. When I go in to first kind of just shape out that tail or arch, whatever I'm doing, I use the side of the pencil that's already slanted. I'm telling you, this pencil stays put if you put it on that side, and you can just go and go, and it turns as if it's a brow wiz. I'm like, oh, okay, I like that. Then what I do is I turn it over so that it's kind of, you know, basically pointing to you, and then start to fill it in like it's a brow powder. You see what I mean? This pencil turned into two different products into one, and then you have your spoolie on the side. With a spoolie even, it starts to kind of move the product so you can fill it in, so you don't even need a brush. So this one pencil started to behave in two product manner, and I was sold. Plus, it's a good color for my eyebrows. Plus, it lasts all day. My high-end brow product is from Wonder Brow, and I have the shade, is it Jet Black? Yes, Jet Black. Here is where I feel Wonder Brow lacks, and the training that is told to customers. They don't tell you, I feel, the best application technique to wear this product. It's just, oh, sell, sell, sell. You need to teach, because selling comes from also teaching well. Teach somebody how to do it and they can do it on their own and they feel good, they're going to purchase your product. So this is what I suggest. And Wonder Brow, you take my idea, you're paying me. Take your favorite eyebrow brush, whatever brush you use. I'm taking mine, and I actually work from the wand. So I take it from the wand itself, the brush, or I take the excess on the applicator stick, and I work from that. All the training they do is like, oh, paint it on with the brush. No, that deposits too much color and makes it so hard to work with. It starts to dry, and then it's a big mess. And I think that is where they, no, I know that's where they lacked and where people were complaining about it. Once you can have some control with it on your brush, then you can make those brush-like strokes. Then you can make those precise lines and have that tail. This lasts through anything. I have to get it off well with an oil-based makeup remover. I just shake it up, or some oil, period, and that gets it off. So Wonder Brow is something I definitely recommend. Again, I recommend using it the way I just mentioned, and you might like it. Now for old and always using, it's always going to be my ABH products. This is my Brow Wiz, this is part of my Ulta 21 Days of Beauty. Pick Dip Brow is another product that I use. Look at how mangled this is. Okay, so this is for ABH. Take note, Norvina and Anastasia. It's the same with this spoolie breaking off over time, and it's not like I'm, you know, some big bruiser trying to twist this, but I had to take some tape down because this cap has cracked off completely. So I'm not going to get rid of it because I have quite a bit in here. This thing lasts forever, but I had to do something, and I use the cap as my mixing plate. So I just go like this and tie it over. I'm in the shade medium brown. I already know my shade, and that's how I secure it. For eyebrow gel, any type of fibers and so forth, I really don't go like out searching for those products as well. I finished up ABH's clear brow gel, and when it comes to brow gel, I just use what I used in high school, and you're probably going to hear that a lot on this channel. I use what I used in high school. Use what I used in high school. Well, let me tell you how it was in high school for me. That was back when T-Rex and Velociraptors were still roaming the earth, and I had to be creative because there wasn't that much going on. And so I have to be creative with my makeup. So I use the CoverGirl. This was specifically what I use. Professional Natural Lash. They still make it. I brush this into my brow hairs and it sets it in place. Sets it in place. And there's no flakes. There's nothing. So you'll learn that with me as you watch my videos, and little tips and stuff I will give you. I like to use things that are not necessarily for what they're used for, and I had to be very creative back then, and I feel I'm still like that to this day. So as long as they make this, I will always buy Total T's mascara. I only use this mascara for my bottom lashes only. This is the only bottom lash mascara, or any mascara period, for my bottom lashes where I can actually see a difference. Here's the story on this, and then I'm done. You'll hear it as I'm putting this on. What got me to purchase this was Katy Perry herself. So it was whenever she did her online YouTube weekend where it was live and the cameras were on her in that house. Oh, I want her to please do that again. I noticed that every time the guest would come in to do her makeup, or her makeup artist did her makeup, she reached for this mascara. As she was doing her bottom lashes, she said she loves the little tiny brush, how it gets the hairs in her inner corners, and it really makes her lashes look long and full. And so then I said, okay, Katie, I'll go ahead and try it. Thank you for that weekend, Katie. Please do another one again, because that was a good, like, live weekend. and then that's why I got it. I did it my top lashes. I didn't like how it looked on my top lashes. It just looked normal, but the bottom lashes, it took a hold of that and went, love it. A drugstore pick for mascara for the last year is from Maybelline. Lots of Maybelline, huh? The Colosso Big Shot Volume Express Mascara. Now this is the one I picked up when Makeup by Shayla came to my neck of the woods, and she was doing a meet and greet at my local Walmart. So I picked up the mascara at that time, and she signed it, and I put tape over it. So now I have Shayla's signature. Gives me like a 3-in-1. It has the volume, the little bit of thickness, because to me I really like volume and length, probably more than I want thickness, but it gives me all of that in one, and then it doesn't transfer, it's not irritating on my eyes, and I do enjoy the wand. I don't have a high-end mascara as far as one that was like impressing me last year, because I was using up already what I have and I didn't buy anything new. In the luxury category, that changed. The one that just it makes my lashes look so good too, like false lashes, and a little bit of thickness, and it's got the volume, and the length is Giorgio Armani Black Ecstasy. So this is going to be my mascara that I'm going to wear today, because I already know it's going to blend in perfectly with my false lashes. That's another thing about this mascara, is it makes my natural lashes look like my lashes, my false lashes, that are like my holy grail. And that is something I realized right off the bat, and I was like, oh, okay, you're the winner. My top picks, I think they're probably going to just, probably stay this way for quite some time, will be Maybelline lipsticks, period. I like the Maybelline lipstick formula. I feel they're very comfortable, and they just look good on the skin, and I don't mind applying them a million times a day. That's how I get through a lipstick. But I feel definitely Maybelline's lipsticks, you just really can't beat them. I have lipsticks from a lot of other drugstore brands, but if you got rid of all that, definitely I can say, you know what? It's Maybelline. My high-end pick is going to be the same lipstick formula that I loved for 2016. I can't help it. I already said it last year too. My favorite lipstick combo from Urban Decay were the Naked Heat lipsticks. The Fuel and Heat mixed together, you got a sexy little combination right there. Or you can wear them by themselves. But I enjoy Urban Decay's Vice lipstick. These are the new Heat lipsticks. I'm just going to kind of give you a little bit of a preview. That's why I did the eyes makeup, because I'm going to be swatching those, and I want to do a swatch video as well. So these are new ones. I do have a luxury lipstick. I want to give mention again to the Givenchy lipsticks. Now this is the Rouge Interdit. It's number 13. This is a blue-based red lipstick. It's not going to last all day. That's not its intention, is to do that. It just feels so good on the lips, and it looks good. This is going to be a personal preference, because it is a luxury lipstick, has a luxury price tag. So it's going to be an individual choice. This is something you want to splurge on. You know, some people will splurge on certain makeup items that maybe make them feel good. This is something that makes me feel good. I would want to try other colors. Oh, that color and just how it feels on the lips. I just came alive. I just came alive now for the rest of the video. If you hung in this long for this video, thank you. We've got 3 more subdivisions for lipsticks. Hang in there. Let's move to liquid lipsticks. Now for my drugstore top pick, it's the Superstay Matte Inks, another Maybelline item. Maybelline is just sweeping the awards, aren't they? They have been producing some pretty good products lately. I have to admit that. It's a liquid lipstick that is very comfortable to wear. My lips don't feel drying. They don't feel cracking, especially because with liquid lipsticks, you know, their purpose is not to be reapplying them throughout the day like a regular lipstick. So I am really looking for something that's going to look good throughout the day. I don't want to be babysitting a liquid lipstick. That is something that annoys me a lot, is if I have a liquid lipstick and I have to babysit you. So I'm going to be tougher on liquid lipsticks for my own personal choice. I've heard so much about this brand and their liquid lipsticks to the point it took me forever to get one, because a lot of reviews were like that this is garbage. This formula is something that I don't have to babysit, and it's not drying on my lips, and it doesn't settle, and it's not cracking, and it's just not just unpleasant to wear. So I am very happy that I picked one up. Old but still using for liquid lipsticks. I'm still using and enjoying what I selected for 2016, the Smashbox. Those are still, in my eyes, good. It is same as these. It's comfortable on the lips. It's not cracking, you know. You'll see the same description for it with me. I want it to be comfortable. I don't want to be so darn dry where I'm like, When I think of a drugstore price or a drugstore lip liner, the one that I reached for the most last year were from ColourPop, their Lippy Pencil. Now, I do enjoy the color. I do enjoy the formula. I don't like the packaging. I can live with it because I enjoy the color so much. The sharpening isn't the best. And then sometimes the pencil, see how it goes like that, and then I have to kind of push it down to the level that I want. But the color, it's like, you know, I'll deal with you because the color. This is Karuchi. Did I say that right? So I have some of these because that is my favorite one. And then, well, actually my ultimate favorite is BFF3. See how it's almost done? See how it popped out like that? Oh, so annoying. But the color, right there is BFF3. Other than ColourPop, I gravitate towards NYX lip liners. Those remind me very much of MAC lip liners, which MAC would be my high-end lip liners. And they're creamy, they last, and they feel good on the lips. No drying. See, it's the same requirements as a liquid lipstick. For me, I want it similar in a lip liner. But when it comes to high-end, the one that has just worked for me since high school has been MAC, and I love them. And I have my colors, and I have mine, and I'm not budging. I will always repurchase those. So I do enjoy my MAC. I do also have quite a bit of the Urban Decay ones because they sent them to me, but they're like the MAC ones, but some shades are more opaque, I notice, and they tend to also have more of a little bit of a drier formula. So if I really want to make sure that that lipstick will stay on, or maybe I just want to wear that lip liner, or for an event, I notice for events, I pull the Urban Decay one because I feel no matter what, I'm talking a lot, drinking water, whatnot, at the events, I want it to stay on, so I tend to reach for that. So I might have certain liners for certain occasions and so forth. Now, luxury, I'm going to be even more pickier when it comes to a luxury lip liner, because here we go. I have mine from drugstore. I have mine from high-end. What is it that the luxury one is going to give me that's going to make me want to even, you know, bother looking at you? So right immediately off the top of my head, when I think of a luxury lip liner that I still use to my day, again, since high school, well, as senior year of high school, I wasn't allowed to use it when I was a freshman and younger. And it's Chanel lip liners. A ton of colors, they last a long time, they feel very good on the lips, and they sharpen well. So you're getting a good quality product for the price. So that's what I would recommend. Other lip liners that are luxury, no, because it's like, I can get it at different other price points. So that's what I'd recommend. Let's leave the lips with lip gloss. So for drugstore, it's the same brand. It's ColourPop. I reached for one specific shade constantly last year, and it's in the shade WeHo. as in West Hollywood. So see, I actually made a nice little dent. This is just that basic everyday shade. It's clear. Well, I wouldn't even say clear. It's like a sheer cream type formula. And even when I pair it with BFF3, it looks beautiful. I can wear it by itself. My lips feel moisturized as well, so I can just leave it in my bags. If I forget chapstick or whatnot, I can put this on. My high-end pick is a surprising one. Surprising. I mean, you already saw it, the picture, so you already know what it's going to be. But it's the Fenty Beauty. The, what's the actual title? The Gloss Bomb. So one shade. I was reaching for this so much in the purse. Oh, I forgot the Clarins. I forgot the lip balm. Oh, I forgot the other one. Oh, I don't have chapstick, but this was always in the purse. So I was putting it on. I was going to the gym. I was putting this on. It has that sheer color, just a little bit of color. And even though it has a hint of sparkle to it, it's not obnoxious. And my lips was moisturized. I remember still leaving the gym going, God, my lips, it's still on my lips. And it's moisturized, and I'd be going out throughout the day. I put it on, and it just became a daily habit. It started to become a routine, and that's why I started to like it more and warm up to the idea. It started to become a routine. I was putting it on in the car constantly, every single day. So I was like, wow, go figure, because I was not looking for you. I did not purchase a luxury type lip gloss. I still use what I already have. So I do have from two brands at least that are very good to me. Whew, I don't know about you, but I am tired. False lashes. I found one style by Idole that in 2017 that I love, and I get compliments on the style. It's number 102 Demi. So these are the lashes. This style gives a little bit of flair, just a little bit, but it's enough where you can actually see it. It like complements my eye shape. It complements my natural lashes. That is what I'm after. That's what the compliments are when people see me in eyelashes, to be honest. They looking at my lashes and they're asking, are your lashes even real? Like, they look real. It's because they complement. It's not where I would walk in a room and you see the lashes first and then you see the rest of me. That's not me. This style is where I have a ton of lashes. This will give you that glamour. I like to say glamour, but it's a more of a chilled glamour. When it comes to high-end lashes, I'm gonna get a little bit more pickier as well, because again, I'm looking for the style that is going to complement my eye shape, complement my eye. The brand that I feel does an exceptional job at that is House of Lashes, especially their collaboration with Sephora. These are gorgeous. The style that's called Timeless, that is the one. It's named exactly like it is, Timeless. That beautiful staple lashes. And when I wear those too, especially, it's like, your lashes look beautiful. Do you have extensions? This style is Everlasting. I think they're named after, like, you know, Disney fairy type names. You need the glue to put on the lashes. For 2017, I purchased a Japanese version from my local Japanese grocery store, and it's by the brand Dupe and just says eyelashes. Now, this is the one I only use. It's the number 552. This is for intermediate to advanced. If you are a beginner, I'm going to recommend my favorite all-time, old but still always using, is by House of Lashes. So you can get the dark and you can get the clear. You can use duo, you know, you can use all those, some that you can get from the drugstore. I do like the Kiss glue as well. I actually have a lot of different glues and I just rotate them every day so I can use it up. But I always can count on House of Lashes to keep them on, and I don't have to babysit it. Now, this glue is my top pick for the sole reason is the minute you put this on, I'm telling you, I don't care if it's 4 a.m. in the morning and you're not coming home until 4 o'clock in the next morning. The lashes will stay on, no popping anywhere, nothing. If you're a beginner and you don't want to listen, I hate to say it like that, like I'm gonna be your mom now. You don't want to listen. That's fine. Do not put a lot of this on. You don't need to put a lot. Just put one little stripe. I put it on and then I put it down and I go do something else. So we're just going to talk. And the next category is, I'm looking at my notes, setting sprays. Top drugstore pick for 2017 is the Wet n Wild, the Photo Focus setting spray. I feel that the ingredients in here share similar ingredients with the top brands. So you're looking at the Urban Decay All Nighter and so forth. This shares similar ingredients, and that's why this is my top pick. I do consider this brand a higher end brand. However, it's at the drugstore too because it's sold at Target, and it's Pixies. And this is my second bottle. This is the Makeup Fixing Mist. It's got rose water and green tea in it. I just love their sprays, period. It's refreshing, but then it sets the makeup at the same time. So it's kind of like you're spraying two things at once, like a hydration mist, and then you also have your makeup setting spray. And then my last pick is another high-end brand, and I don't have one for luxury because I wouldn't even go into a luxury brand for a setting spray. I'm very pleased with what I already have. But it's the one I actually reviewed, and it worked incredibly well during the summer. This is the Kate Somerville SPF 50 Uncomplicated. The best testing I did for this was during the summer when I was going to the concert in the parks every Sunday. And so I wore this on top of it, even if I had light makeup on, and we were out dancing in the field constantly, especially 80s night. It was just music, song after song after song, and we were dancing. But I always sprayed this on, and everybody else is all sweating and all this stuff, and then I go look in my mirror and my makeup is on, or my face is still like intact. I've been saying to everybody, get that spray because I tested it in full dance mode. Stays put. You're gonna get a little eyelash 101 now. Look down. What I do is I just align it right in the middle. I kind of shut my eye just a little bit because my lashes are already so curly. Put it on, move it over, and then I look up because my lashes are so curly. I need to move it in front of my natural curl. And then go like that. What setting spray do I want to use? The one that impressed me, I'm going to keep buying this, is the Sephora Daily Brush Cleanser. Now it says all over the brush, it says it twice. So they're serious if they have it on here twice. It says do not spray directly on the brush. I do spray it on the paper towel. I spray it on the microfiber cloth. You spray it on that and then take the brush and go in, and every bit of color is gone. Gone. I don't know what it's going to do if you just sprayed it like that. I haven't tried it. Last item, I'm using it because I got it in 2017 and I'm always going to have these. I love it. It's a hand mirror. It props on the desk. You can go like this to do your makeup. I tend to hold it, you know, like this. I tend to hold it like that. The possibilities are endless. And it's $1.50. It comes in black, white, and pink. If you are near a Daiso and you see these, you can pick them up. And all of mine are black because that's what I live in. Black colors. Who else applies their highlighter last, depending on, you know, what their look is? Lipstick, the eyeshadow, and I mean, this is so pretty. That's 2017 is over, already tracking for 2018, and I will get it up early. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day or evening. Again, thank you very much. And as always, I'm going to see you in the next video. Bye, everyone.